Yo, what is up, guys? This is day 5, right, Arturo?
Day 5 in the old Nashville, Tennessee.
Old Nashville, baby. Man, today I'm so blessed and honored to have the privilege of having the man, the myth, the drum maker legend. We call him the drum Picasso on Behind the Kick. Mr. Andy Gray himself. Woo! Yeah, baby.
Let's go.
Something like that.
Something like that, right? Dude, so where are we at, first of all?
We're at Drum Supply House here in Nashville, Tennessee. We are in the depths of it. This is what we call the wood shop. This is where our craftsman does our cut downs, bearing edges, repairs, wraps, all the above. As you can see, like shells and stuff. We got to do some custom work on this Ludwig, but yeah.
3,000 feet below sea level. It's a secret door to walk in. You're never going to find it, so don't try.
We're never going to find our way out here.
We will live here. That's totally fine.
Yeah. Man, so what has Andy, the drum Picasso, man, the myth, the legend, been up to lately?
Well, working here, managing here, taking care of people at the shop, you know. Been going around to studios and stuff, getting people's drums dialed in, tuned in, and Danny out there, our Australian friend.
Yes, sir.
The
great guy.
Yes, love Danny.
Right?
Yeah, we're opening up a studio together at his house.
Oh, wow.
Cool,
Damn.
man.
We just combined all of our sick drum gear. This kit is on its way.
Dude, you gotta show that.
Okay, so we were just chopping it up back here in the chop shop, and I saw this finish out of nowhere, and you probably can't see it on camera, but this is the most phenomenal purple and blue. Would you call it like Ablon? Like, what do you?
I don't even know. Some sort of.
It's as if I saw olive ash burl in an exotic finish in a wrap, and the colors in it look like you're in a diamond mine, and it's just seeing a diamond for the first time is the best way that I could describe this thing. I requested to have this right next to me just so I could get some of its energy or something.
I'm gonna just say it on the record, and this is going on camera, and so all you guys know from now on, my next kit that you see your boy at Scooter Drums play will be made by this cat right here.
Right.
I'm just saying it.
Tell them about the snare story. Tell them about the heart behind that snare story.
Man, so I had Andy build me a snare for the road. I was going on the road with a couple different artists at the time. How long ago was that?
Oh man, it had to be a couple.
Couple years?
I just moved to town here, yeah.
A couple years ago, right? Yeah, it was a couple years ago. What did you build me, dude? Talk about that drum.
I don't even remember. What color is it?
Y'all both don't remember. I want to know.
No, it is a. I want to say like a nickel over brass.
Oh.
Yes, nickel over brass,
It's a
6x5.
Black nickel over brass. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. It's a monster of a drum.
Yeah.
But that made me realize, like, dude, there's nobody building a drum like this cat. Nobody. So I've got to get a kit, man. We'll chop it up and we'll get it going, dude.
Yeah.
We'll get it going.
So what's funny about that is it's like, I didn't really do much. It's part of our program here at Drum Supply. But
You put the love into it, though, right?
I did. I put the love. I put the tuning and
needs.
all that stuff. The screws together. But it's part of our DIY kit, which is a really affordable way to get a world-class snare drum for half the cost.
Yeah.
And his is like a Black Beauty, so it's like, I think it costs like $350 for a Black Beauty versus like the actual Ludwig branded Black Beauty, which is a little probably over-engineered in itself. But
I'll say it. It's on the camera, bro. It sounds better than that is the best sounding snare drum I have, and I have all of them, all the brands.
Yeah.
And would you say that you guys are cranking out like a lot for that reason? Like if I was just an ordinary drummer, I had no idea that y'all had that in the first place, because him and I talked about that snare. But in the case of like making them a lot, do you see that from the public? Like, is that a kind of a hidden thing to know that you guys are having that rare of a?
Well, I guess we'd like it to not be hidden, but
might have to take that.
It's cool. It's our. I guess it's Nashville's little secret. There's a ton of hard, heavy-hitting studio guys in town that are on all the number ones that are playing our snare drums.
Wow,
that's really cool, man.
They're endorsed by other people, but ours doesn't have a logo, so it's easy just to put into a camera shot, and they don't have to worry about it because it sounds better anyways.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, you.
Can I get your
simple-
face
yeah.
on my kit? Can we talk about
I was
it?
about to say
Yeah.
the badge. Yeah, I was about to say the badge would really be cool.
Josh,
Yeah,
put Andy's face right here.
yeah.
Just zoom in real close.
The editing. Yeah, that's incredible, and I think more drummers need to know that, because from a local shop standpoint, and my experience in being in a shop and running a drum department, hearing that you guys are building, that's next level.
Yeah, yeah,
It's in the shop.
yeah.
You're not going to another location, like you made it work here. I think it's almost from an outsider's perspective, like, what are they doing? How are they doing that? Can I hear that? Because when we heard the drums today and I saw them, and the things that caught my eye were just the sound and the finish and how y'all are doing them at this level, I would have never known or believed it unless I saw it in person.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Josh, whatever photos or videos we can really help you guys out with on that. I think more drummers need to play Drum Supply
dude.
drums.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, I'm
and
with
so that
that.
brand is Hello Drums, and we have an Instagram too, just at Hello Drums.
Okay, right here.
Right here, follow, link. But yeah, I mean, what would you say, like, as far as building? You've been building for how long? Personally.
I mean, kind of since I started working here, but Andy, not me, Andy that owns the company, he's been doing this for 30 years. So he started off doing just parts, selling parts to people all over the country.
Yeah.
Now it's all over the world, but because we were so close with parts, it was like, well, we can get shells and things pretty easily, like these killer shells and everything. It was just a matter of connecting the dots between having the shells and the parts and having someone who can actually work their magic and put it all together.
Right.
And that was Rob Campa, our guy who's building, doing our woodworking stuff.
One of the best, man.
I'm mostly assembly, but yeah, he does these are all routing tables over here, so he does our bearing edges and things on these tables, and then he, when it comes to like drilling holes to put the hardware and lugs in, he does it all by hand. He refuses to use machinery. So
Yeah, and that's another thing. That was one of the first things when Andy brought me back here. I was like, there's no like crank and all of this, that.
No,
It's
man.
just hand, is by hand. And I have a lot of respect for anything done by hand. The bags, right? Goat leather, just all sewn, done by hand. And I was like, I wanted something that would last a lifetime, lifetime warranty on it kind of thing. But with something like this, we talk about like putting the love into it, having that passion to do it.
Yeah.
Like anybody can buy killer shells, and you see a lot of bad drums out there. And he told me that y'all have something on the site talking about bearing edges.
Yep.
And I loved that, because we started talking about baseball bat bearing edges, and like it's its own thing, right? Like the Craviotto thing, and just but you can't take it up or down. It's like stuck in that one.
You got a
little-
sweet spot. Yep.
Right. So that was the first thing we talked about when it was about bearing edges. And the fact that y'all go into detail about it, when he told me y'all have it on the website, I was like, this is the real McCoy right here.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I love that, and I love feeling that way about a shop in general, but then also a builder, because there are a ton of builders out there. And not the majority of them are the greatest edges. You can wrap a drum, you can buy a killer shell, but do you know your edges, and do you put some love into it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think y'all do that extremely well. I mean, I think I'm with Chris. You know, I really wanted that Poland snare out there that we were testing
Toehawk,
out. Yeah, the Toehawk is
Also made by hand, yeah. Not by us, but
unreal. His first thing, Danny's first thing was like, he hammers it into a round shell.
yeah.
I was like, dude, like, I don't know science. Please speak English in a better way to me. Not that he was Australian, but yeah. But the fact that I was like, wow, you guys you're also carrying some really great products. Even Andy told me like some farm stuff with the drum toys and stuff like that you won't find anywhere else. I mean, dude, I need y'all.
We try and provide cost-effective things, because we know people out here in music be struggling, you know.
Oh yeah, struggle's real.
So you know, you're not going to pay an absorbent amount for something. We also love to support our community, whether it's community of drummers or musicians or whatever it is, and we have a lot of local builders that actually have some snare drums. We got a few Atlanta builders, Lucky Drums and Pie Drum Co.
Cool.
Pie is just out of Atlanta,
Okay.
I think it's just north of it. But yeah, just a lot of local builders. At Toehawk, guy in Poland, we're the only U.S. dealer for those guys, and
Cool, man.
And just super special drums. You mentioned like Craviato and stuff. We do some work for them, some rap work and things. But yeah, we just try and have the boutique things, but also have the affordable things that sound good, because a lot of people get kind of alienated and priced out of that kind of area unless they're like, oh, I got an endorsement or I got this and that. But it's we just want to provide things for everybody. We'll work with you on cost. We'll do whatever it takes, like as long as like you have the drum that you need and the drum that is calling you.
Right, and that's the drum that is calling you. Wow, that's
it's like Harry Potter, right?
Exactly.
The wand.
I found my wand.
Yeah.
The drum chooses the drummer.
And y'all got to make a shirt out of that. Wow, I would love that. And then fonts and everything. But what I felt when I walked in here, I was telling Andy and Danny, I was like, dude, it's a vibe in this shop.
Yeah, man.
It is a vibe. And I didn't catch the vibe or the drift when Danny was like, all right, you're good to go. You're good to rip. Run it. Play. And we talked about that, where we're just like, we're kind of careful about that. It's like, it's that feeling of like, man, I think I was talking to Danny about this, just like, I was talking to you about this, where you're in the shop and you might have a kid coming here for the first time and never, ever touched a drum in their life, but they're driven and inspired to do it. And if you got that kind of salesy attitude, well, you're about to just lose a drummer for the rest of his life. And you guys are the complete opposite of that. And when he said that, it really hit me in my heart, because I know Chris can just play like no tomorrow. And when you let him rip, like, you see his heart out there. And it's just one of those, it's the kind of shop that I wish I had in my backyard, because I could stay here all day.
Yeah,
and I would be like, dude, I just want to volunteer my time, like as if it's some kind of charity organization or anything like that, because you can see the heart and the love behind it.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, I'll do that.
Yeah, Andy. I mean, when I came here into town, and I actually bought a kit before I moved into town. That's how I met Andy, and I was just like, dude, I have to come back and just hang out with you in your shop. And he was just like, okay, like that's kind of weird. And then now I feel like it's blossomed to this awesome relationship. Come to Drum Supply and see the Andys, both of us. And,
Dang.
And it's like, I stayed long enough to where he was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to pay you to leave at the end of the day.
Dang. I love that.
That's a good way to put it.
Come see the two Andys.
Yeah,
two faces now, Josh.
Yes.
Right here. What do you got, Chris?
Man, so on Behind the Kick, we're talking about gear. We love it, right? But what drives you, man, and kind of talk about your passion for the community and for the love of music. Like, why do you think you've stayed here so long? What drives you to stay in this shop all day?
I mean, just like helping people. Like, we get some of the coolest guys, some of the most known guys and girls, drummers, who come in here and need something from us, whether it's parts or tuning or expertise or something like that. And a lot of people are really, really, really freaking good players, which I wouldn't say that I am.
Oh, dude.
But I know my way around, like tuning drums and getting things reset, repairing drums and things like that. And any chance that I can help someone in this community or in our community, not just like Nashville, but Houston community, our community,
What you
down.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah. OG right here. So we have one of our own sitting next to us, if you guys didn't know, from Houston, Texas.
From Houston.
And what you
Pasadena, baby.
OG,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
What you didn't say about that snare was that he actually flew down with that snare.
Yeah, that was I was working at a music shop at the time, and I was teaching a lesson, and they said, "Hey, Chris, someone here has a drum for you." And I was like, "No, they don't, dude. Whatever. I want to be a cat." And I walked out, and this guy had a snare in his hand, and was like, "Bam!
There you go. Take it. See you later."
Best surprise ever in my life, bro."
Yeah, it was awesome.
Josh, we got to put that picture right here.
Yeah, he told me that story. We were coming back from, I think we were like getting ice cream or something like that, right, Chris? We were
Yeah.
Yeah. He was telling me that story, man, and it really hit me. And I had this idea of what this would be coming out here and visiting you guys, but it literally like tenfold blew my mind. And it was just the vibe and the energy and the hospitality and the companionship and the relationship, because at the end of the day, what I realized in these 5 days in Nashville is that if you can hang and you can get a relationship with somebody, it goes beyond anything else in the world.
Yeah, kindness is number one here in town.
Yes.
You'll find out real quick, and you won't last more than 6 months to a year, because you just want to get any opportunities if you're not a nice person and genuinely care about people. And my goal moving here was like, I felt like it was kind of a breakneck environment in Houston. Like everyone's kind of stepping over each other to get the gig.
Yeah.
Here there's just plethora of all kind of opportunities. It's the only place in the world where you can have 3 of the biggest drum shops in the world within like 10 square miles of each other, and have them survive healthily for many years. But like, not only that, but like producers, engineers, singer-songwriters, drummers, guitarists, bass players, you know, every sort of instrumentalist that you could think of lives and is successful here. And it's because of the environment that people have created and people before us, you know, and just being kind to each other and saying, hey, like, I am elevating my gig or my opportunity here, but I know that someone around me needs a blessing, so I'm giving them what I stepped out of. And there's just a plethora, like I said, of opportunity of people moving, you know, laterally and vertically up the ladder, so say, you know, and so there's just, if you're kind to people will give you opportunities. And that, like I said in Houston, like, that wasn't there. And so it's like, it's really powerful to be able to help people out, like Chris, and just like bring a snare and be like, hey dude, like killer player, killer talent, I've barely known you. And then you ended up being like a friend of a really close friend of my family. But like, just being able to help you out, and then like, I wasn't like, hey, like, oh, give me my, you know, my reward, you know. It's just like, no, you need help. I actually brought a couple drums down at that time for a few different other friends too, as some gifts. But it was just like, hey, I know that Houston is that environment where it's cutthroat, and I just wanted to show people like, hey, look, like, we don't have to be this way.
Yeah,
let's help each other out. Let's, you know, let's be kind. Let's give each other the gigs that we're leaving.
I love that approach, man. Kind of like, hey, I'm on the ladder, and I'm gonna grab your hand up with me.
Yep.
And that is, I don't know, I have a lot that I can say to that. I don't know where you want to take it, Chris.
No,
but
go ahead, dude.
I mean, that's him and I's relationship personally.
Yeah.
I mean, hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be, I don't know, man. That's heavy. That's really heavy with what you say.
Bro. Go ahead.
I mean, we got a segment. It's called "Welcome the Pain."
Okay.
And I mean, you kind of already said what you needed to say, like that. Man, we haven't had that yet in these last 5 days, but I can tell you, and these guys can agree, like, we speak on every day being a blessing in somebody else's life. And you said it, so when you said it, like, immediately my hair stood up, because it's that thing where when you strive to be a blessing in somebody else's life, like, you're right, like, the more good that you can put out, you are going to receive that, but you're not looking for that, like you said. And in that aspect, like, yeah, I can imagine, like, flying with all these snares and, like, paying the cost to ship or whatever it needs to, you know, you're eating that. And at the end of the day, you just want to put out that goodness. I relate to that so heavily through Destroy Drum, and I won't get into that, but it's one of those things where you really just choose to step up to the plate and help your fellow neighbor because you know that they need help. Going into the red or not, profitability-wise, doesn't even you know, it doesn't go into your mind, because it's just like, no, dude, like, there's enough negativity out there. Like, I want there to be a foundation of, let me pick you up and bring you with me, and then we need more of that in the drum community. Yeah,
and I'm like, myself in my career, I'm not trying to, like, go on tour. I'm not trying to be this big name, this big, like, star or anything. And so I don't mind being at the bottom of the ladder just like holding it up so other people can go above me, and that's what I feel like. Drum Supply, Andy Foote has created Drum Supply as a place where we can do that. Neither Andy or I are like actively pursuing like playing gigs. We're just like doing our thing and providing a place where we can lift up other drummers and other musicians to kind of take that next step, whether that's simply providing them with like head choice, or if it's like, hey, like, let me come and tune your drums for you before your gig because I know you're going through something with your family and you're not going to have time to do it, so let me just zip over to your house and get your your cartage stuff figured out, so when you're going to the studio tomorrow, your drums are already set up and ready to go, and like A-class tuning and professionalism and all that stuff. So it's like we just try to be that support system for the musicians in our community.
I'm gonna do a kit too. I want a 14 by 24 kick.
Oh.
I want to do a 9.
You don't want a shower?
You want to go 12?
10.
We're gonna do 14 by 24, 9 by 13, and a 16 by 16.
Big tubs.
We'll talk about it off camera.
I'm doing it on camera because I'm doing it. Because hearing that, I don't want anybody else's drums. I want these drums.
Well, we're not the only ones doing that.
But you're the only ones with the heart doing it with the right heart.
I wouldn't say that either.
Nope.
We have a lot of...
you are.
Nope. We haven't found them.
Nope,
we haven't. They haven't.
I'll give you a list of names.
I don't want them.
List of builders.
Don't need them.
I only have one name, man. I only need one.
Cool.
Drum Supply.
That's it, baby.
And that's how we roll, and that's why we work together, because he has his own path, I have my own path. We do things somewhat the same sometimes, but we also have our own thing. We've both done the touring thing, and we love drums, but there's a part to this podcast that is not going to be like anything else anybody else has ever seen, because there is character behind those chops, and we want to see if that character matches the chops. Same thing in a builder, in a drum shop. We've been to everybody. We've talked to everybody, and everybody has their own niche, and everybody does something very well, and we respect and we love those guys for what they do. And that's why you mentioned having all these drum shops within 10, 15 miles. Everybody's thriving. The heart's there, the love is there, the authenticity is there. But, I mean, as far as drum shops and being a builder, correct me if I'm wrong, is there another shop that's also a builder?
Well, I mean, like, locally building, there are quite a few, like, private guys doing things, guys and gals. And,
but a shop and a build.
Shop, like a storefront.
Correct.
And builder.
Correct.
No, we're kind of the only ones doing that.
And that's where the appreciation and respect is. It's like, and I just love that about Nashville, is the fact that you can have all of these shops, and it's just, everybody just knows that, hey, I go to this place for this, I go to this for that, like, then it's easy, and everybody speaks so highly of each other. I love that. I love the fact that I can go into any of these shops and they're like, you're gonna have a good time here, you're gonna enjoy this guy, and I'm just like, that's love, man.
And the other thing is, everybody knows all you guys by name. Oh yeah, man, so and so's a great cat. Not just, oh yeah, those cats at Drum Supply. It's, hey man, Andy Gray. Hey man, Dan at Forks. Hey man, Bryson at Nelson's. Like they know your name, not your shop. And that's where that whole chops matching the character, man, that's where that comes into play.
Yeah, and I can just attest to that. Is like, when I was in that shop at Sound Vibrations, it was the owner, Robert DeGraff, that taught me how to be that person in the shop that somebody wants to come in and work for, and work with, and buy from. And even Robert Oswaga, another shout out, that was his right-hand man there. It's like, anytime somebody wanted to come in and buy something, it didn't matter what department it was, if Robert Oswaga was not there, they would leave. No matter how bad they needed it. And they're still buying from the same shop, and they're still gonna wait, but it's just that authenticity of somebody knowing you by name. And it's just like, dude, when you have the knowledge, you gotta have the knowledge for one, but you also have the character. And you gotta come in with that kind of heart that you're like, man, I'm gonna get you something and build you something because I know you need it, or I'm gonna tune your drums because you got something going on the side and I know you're not gonna be able to handle it. And it's just like, you're there for them. You're come on.
It's very personal,
Respect, 100%, man.
I think it's funny, like, sometimes people come in, they're like, hey, is Andy here? And they're talking about Andy Foote, the owner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, but my name's Andy. If you trust the name Andy, you can trust me.
yeah.
But it's actually like, you know, there's a lot of folks who've been working with Andy for 30 plus years, and it's cool to see his example he's set, but it makes me want to like, okay, like, hey, you've built this trust with Andy, now you can build it with me, and understand that I've got you. Like, you don't have to worry, like, oh no, because you go to your favorite store and you got your person that you go to, whether it, you know, in Houston it was Guitar Center, and I went to my guy, I can't remember his name, but I always went to my guy because he didn't know crap about drums, but he knew what I wanted.
That's a good point right there.
And so, you know, when he stopped working there, that's when I went over to Sweetwater, you know.
It's personal relationships, and that's why you see a lot of guys moving drum companies, different A&R reps leave.
Yep.
See it all the time.
Yep.
It's so funny, man. Andy and Andy, back home it was Robert and Robert.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not leaving. You guys go back, bro. I'm staying, man. I ain't leaving. It's too much, man, because in that segment we do get personal, but this is to that level of you don't get it unless you're in it.
Yeah, I agree.
How would you go off of that, Chris? Where would you go next? Because that segment is usually some people can't handle that segment. Be honest, and like
I'm kind of, I don't know where to go next, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah.
You're hitting all the points, and especially on Behind the Kick, man. Like, I've gotten that story before in other episodes, but the reason why it's called Behind the Kick is because I don't care what gig you're on. I love Drum Supply, but I don't really care about the shop. I care about the people.
Yep.
And you've shown that, man. You guys' character 100% matches the chops or the name, man. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, man.
You know, because I know for me, man, like in Arturo, and I think every drummer who comes in here can say, hey, we all love drums. And you guys say, hey, we love drums too, but we love you.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna keep you guys going for a million years, man.
Hope so, yeah.
It will.
No, it definitely will. I mean, so besides drums, I know where to go with this, because what's funny is we don't like these other segments.
Yeah.
Best segment.
Okay, so let them pick then. So we got in the pocket, out of the pocket, go to your bunk, character over chops, which we covered.
4 on the floor.
4 on the floor. There you go. 4 on the floor, and then
welcome to the pain.
Welcome to pain. But you already hit welcome to pain and character over chops. So 4 on the floor, in the pocket, out of the pocket, and go to your bunk.
What you got?
I like in the pocket.
Okay.
I feel like that's what I do. I don't fill. I don't ever play fill.
Yeah.
No, yeah, dude. First of all, Andy's a great groove guy, man. Seriously, I'll say this, man. I've learned a lot from you as a player, so thank you for that, dude. Seriously. So, dude, we've been talking drums, gear, everything. Okay, we've got a question called in the pocket. All right, you ready for it?
Yep.
Okay, so what are some things that you need when you're playing drums or on the road or whatever that you can't live without?
Non-drum related or drum related?
Yeah.
Man, I'm weird. I have to bring my throne.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you know, you spend so much time like doing the micro adjustments of screwing it and like, you know, adjusting the locks. Like, I have to bring it. And it's like this bougie throne that my wife got me from Pork Pie a long time ago. $300. She surprised it with me.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was a great gift, but I have to bring it because it's like it's the only thing that holds my little cheeks up. Like,
yeah. I love pork pie, dude.
Yeah, they make great stuff.
I want a cheetah one. I'm on the hunt for a cheetah one, dude. I just can't find it, dude. I just can't find it.
I like I bring my own Ableton computer.
Yeah, he runs it. He runs Ableton.
Like, I don't care if someone like has a session that they've already built for me. I'm gonna be like, hey, send me that stuff beforehand because I'm gonna run it my way.
Yeah,
because I want it to be, especially if I'm like showing up to somewhere and I haven't really played with everyone, but I know like I'm showing up for the rehearsal and the show that day, and it's like, okay, I don't have time to mess around and dive through this session and try and figure it out. So I'm gonna be like, hey, send me the stems before I get there. I'll put it together. It takes me less than an hour, and then I'll figure it out, and we'll run it my way. And so that way, like, everyone is,
locked. Yeah.
We'll talk about this later, but are you a session guy or arrangement guy?
Arrangement, 100%.
Okay. I use both for different reasons, though.
Yeah.
I do use both.
They have their own
benefits, you will,
benefits,
right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Places.
Yeah. Arrangement, I'm so used to it because I also use Ableton as my primary
DAW.
recording DAW. So, arrangement just is like it's already there.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well,
going to go to your bunk.
Let's do that
segment. Yeah. So this is a segment inspired by Keo.
Mr. Keo Stroud.
Mr. Keto. Yeah, appreciate this. So with Go to Your Bunk, it's one of those things where when you're on tour, if you're just pissed off, you're having a rough day, someone's making you mad, you just can't deal with it. If there's a tick that you just can't shake, and you're like, bro, I'm going to my bunk. I can't do this right now. Yeah. What is one tick that you have that you would say it's like, nah, dude, I'm going to my bunk?
Like in a band setting?
Yeah. Band setting, personal setting, drum building setting, drum shop setting. Don't come in here and do this because it is my tick. Whatever you'd like to go.
Kick drum head.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Calling them out.
You're going to freaking mess up my hate comments with that one, buddy.
I don't know. Gosh.
Got a list.
I try and let everything kind of blow over.
Yeah. See, and that's why I did not think you would have one, but I wanted to find something.
I mean, I don't like people with who come in with attitude, especially if you've never played together and you've got this preconceived notion of who I am.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, let's just get through rehearsal first or get through the show.
Yes.
And then let's form opinions about each other.
Sure.
But if I show up some places in Houston, there's some churches in Houston I played at that I showed up and they're like, oh, this guy's here. Yeah. And it's like doesn't matter. They've never heard me play before. Mm-hmm. I'm not bad.
No,
I'm not the best
not
in
at
the
all.
world, but it's just because you assume I'm not your guy doesn't mean I'm not a guy.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
I agree.
That kind of tweaks me a little bit, and a lot of things people come and be like, hey, I need you. They've got this paragraph of things that they tell every drummer when they come in. It's like, hey, no, let's get to know me first. Let's just get through rehearsal. If there's something you need me to adjust or change, I'll be happy to do it. But don't hit me with the writer per se of things that you need, people that you need me to be so it's like, hey, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm more than happy to adjust my personality if that's what it is. If I'm rubbing you the wrong way, I will adjust so that you're lifted up in this moment because that's apparently what you need. So whatever it takes, but let's kind of let's knock it around first and then we'll see.
We're in a good conversation with Molly Rose, and I really appreciate that sentiment because in that conversation with her, we had gotten really deep into that with those segments of Welcome the Pain and Character Over Chops. And one of those things that you said was that I drew and added to that conversation with her was not good enough for everyone, but good enough for the one. And it was a faith conversation, and I bring it up because you mentioned the church thing. So in that realm of things, personally in my life, that's where I have had to draw back the people pleasing, the just having to do everything all at one time for everyone to make sure everything goes right. Yep. And it's just so hard to do that. So hard to reel that back and just be like, okay, everybody doesn't need me to be everything for them. Yeah. Type of thing. And even as a drummer, and that's hard to do. Yeah. Because you have your own sound.
Exactly. Well, and I feel like, especially in the church world, sometimes it's like you don't have your own sound because you're playing what's on the record. You're tuning your drums to match the record. You're playing the cymbals that sound like the record. You are basically this. I mean, it's like you guys. Josh told me you guys went out to Broadway last night, and they're 100% covers. Yeah. Some of the groups prefer them to play it exactly like the record, note for note, tuning for tuning, everything. And some people are like, hey, we got these songs, let's kind of do our own thing. And I find that people tend to gravitate more towards that because it's a unique art that you've put on this cover, which most worship songs are covers. You're putting your unique stamp of your gift that God has given you, to play or sing or whatever. You're using your gift, not the gift, copying the gift that someone else made. Not saying like tracks are bad or you can't play anything like exactly how it's written or whatever. It's just like, hey, just like, again, like just get through rehearsal first. Yeah. But yeah, it's you talked about anxiety, like in that making sure that you're pleasing everybody, and I didn't really realize how much anxiety I was carrying around until I worked for a church full time.
Damn, that says a lot.
And I didn't realize it either until I got out of it, and I was like, wait a minute, oh my God, I don't have to, keep everyone afloat or operate in this fight or flight response at 24/7, where I think that if I miss something, the whole church is going to collapse, and it's like, in reality, it would have been a lot healthier for me, and I probably might have stayed there longer if I had just like stopped trying to be the mold that everyone wants me to be the I don't know the word, but be the copy, I guess, the cover, the cover of the song, that everyone wants me to be. But it's like, hey, no, like if I just stayed true to myself and created my version of me, I feel like that I may have, may last a little bit longer.
I am not a
cover.
Yeah. I appreciate and respect that so much, because it's kind of like saying out loud, like, I am not a cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's and
if you want the original, man, you can just go to Spotify.
Yeah.
Turn on the jukebox, baby.
Not Spotify, boo.
Yeah.
Higher percentages. Come on, we got Spotify.
Plug them. Yeah, we're trying to figure out how we're gonna put the podcast, what we're gonna put the podcast on. Yeah, but
let's figure it out.
I pay for Spotify.
So same.
Yeah, I know. I think we all do.
Yeah, man. Chris, what do you got, man?
Man, but
I can take it somewhere, but I want you to have your piece.
I want you to talk about that, dude. Touch on those points about, just that mindset of anxiety and just like what that does to you mentally. Because you touched on it. You said you didn't know that you had that much anxiety until you stepped away from that thing that you were doing.
And I think that's heavy. I'm just going to add a little bit to it, because it was in that for a while, where even in the faith-based aspect of like, I'm going to show up on a regular Sunday, I'm going to show up on a Wednesday, I'm going to do a study on a Monday and a Friday, but never really spend time in the Word. And it's just like I'm checking all the boxes, and I feel like I'm doing the thing where I'm supposed to be doing, not really being filled. Instead, it's just a ball of anxiety. And in the playing aspect, even at that, like I had told Chris, like before we had left for the trip, I had tried out for a church there, got it and everything, but they had such a deep roster. It was like, man, like, we'll use you when you need it. I'm like, perfect. Like, I'm not really looking for anything right now. And like, well, we're not really competitive on the pay. Like, this is what it is. I was like, it's not what I'm here for. I don't want to be here for that. If I'm here for that reason, getting paid is great. There's a time and a place for it, and I respect those that are in that space and are doing it full time, and yes. But if I'm not doing this full time and it's not my main thing, then I really want to do this for the right reason, a better reason. And touching on the anxiety part, like, you have that experience and you can speak on that, like, going off of Chris's question, like, how do you handle that?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Medication.
Yeah, and that's, yes, for real.
I mean, everyone reaches that point in their life. They're young and they just want to play somewhere. Talk about playing for the right reasons. Like, they just want to just be seen and heard and be elevated in front of people and feel important, And a lot of us are introverted musicians who, grew up kind of in that pocket, and then the stage is like this, like, oh, hey, we can kind of like, here I am, and the show's over, close it that's, I feel like what happens is that nervousness then turns into perfectionism, which turns into anxiety.
Wow.
And a lot of that unfortunately in the church, and ironically in the church, is fueled upon by the people in the higher ups in whatever, calling the shots. Not saying a specific church, not saying every church is like this, but when people are given power, sometimes it just, it can twist you a little bit, and you don't know that you're manipulating someone when you end up actually manipulating someone and hurting them, stepping over them, to gain whatever it is, more power or more money or whatever it is,
Yeah, definitely.
And so when you're a young kid and very gullible to that kind of thing, it's easy to just get kind of groomed and created into this kind of mindset where this person who's unintentionally manipulating you has also been manipulated and is also a people pleaser and is also a perfectionist and is doing what they were done to before them to you, and you assume that this is just the way of life, this is just how you communicate with people. You yell at people when they after the worship service because they missed a note or we missed a transition or whatever, and it's so important to you, and the fact that you didn't get everything right is so important, instead of like, hey, like, I just got an opportunity to play drums for, even if it's a little money, I just got an opportunity to play and got paid for it, and it was easy and it was fun. All of that, like, you don't even think about that. Like, that's gone. That's kid stuff. We don't think about that anymore.
Yeah.
We think about nailing it, being perfect, pleasing the people above you. And in reality, it's like, where's the art in that? And through, counseling and therapy and medication, when I left the church in the height of that kind of, like I said, the fight or flight response earlier, like living 100% of my life in fight or flight, like I could be on an edge of a knife, it's almost not to downplay bipolarism, but it's almost like you're permanently on that edge of in total, like, fallout, chaos, or like or you're leaning over this way where things are starting to look good, but you never fall on that side of the knife blade. You're always in the, it's either, okay, we're going good, and it's like, oh God, we're going good, and then this is like this side, the part that you always fall in is depression, imperfection, anxiety. What are people thinking of me? What are people hearing me play? What if I'm not hitting all the notes?
Yeah.
People are this random ass congregation member is gonna know that I missed my ghost note in the transition between the verse and the chorus there. What am I gonna do? How embarrassing. And it's like, no one gives a crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's such a, when you're wired the way that we are, based on our experiences, whether your family or, like I said, someone above you was manipulated and is now manipulating you, like, it's hard to understand when you're in it until, like you said, Chris, until you leave it.
Yeah.
And I always will encourage people, younger musicians, just take a step back every once in a while, take a break. I understand you gotta pay rent, you gotta pay your bills, but like, what would happen if you just took a week off? And didn't listen to any music, no music, nothing, just silence, live like a normal person who is not in music. I don't know what that is like, but just live in silence and reflect on who you are and see, like, okay, is everything meeting my needs, and am I meeting the needs of people that are important to me, and sifting through and finding, okay, who are the people that are important to me. Yeah, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah,
It's strong,
like,
though.
it's
It's strong. That is so strong, because not enough musicians know that. And we've been talking a lot on mental health in this show, or in the recent episodes. Is like, there's not anything out there for musicians that allow them to take a break. You got a guy that has to play full time and do it full time to make rent, and if he takes a break, somebody else might get his gig, and then he's worried about the gig, and it's just this loop. And it's,
or you naturally, like, what's funny is sometimes I feel like God gives you the time off by like giving you a lull in gigs, and you're like, oh my God, I'm freaking out.
Right.
I'm anxious about not getting gigs, and it was like, whoa, I didn't do this to make you anxious. I did this to like, so you could focus on yourself for a little bit. And you know, it's like we do the opposite thing because that's our human nature. But
it's the wanting more type of thing. And that has been a very common theme, Chris. We've been talking about that even off camera. Is the more. I gotta have more. I gotta have this to feel okay. And I mean, just in my journey alone, personally, I know what you're saying. I can relate to that, living that edge of that knife, and just being on that. And it's that fight or flight mode. And I'll be honest, it wasn't until I had to slow down and take things away that I was able to like, okay, I don't have to live that way anymore.
Yep.
Because if you think that if you're going through something that's really hard and you are struggling, it's never when you add more to it that it helps. Because that's that whole I need more thing. If I just have this other thing, it's going to be okay. I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that the hard way. And the more I subtracted, the more I read the word, it was a lot easier to be less in that fight or flight mode, because you're not lying. When you're stuck in that fight or flight mode, your body chemically, scientifically remembers that stress and keeps you locked in there. It's a very dangerous place to be consistently.
Definitely. But I mean, let's be blunt, man. Just because you're throwing water on some plants doesn't mean it's going to grow. It's only going to grow if you get to the root.
Yeah.
And that's, man, that's behind the kick for you right there, man. Yeah. And but that's also life, and that's just yeah. And sometimes you got to pull the root.
Yeah.
So, damn, you're a real one, Andy. I'm gonna be honest, man. Yeah, dude, shock us up, dude, for real, because I don't have anything. You're the first one that's really hitting it. And
have I been the worst interview you've had?
No,
I don't know where.
No. Well, we could really dig, but that's the thing. We don't care about the drum stuff, man. No. We just really don't, and that's why, like, I think that that a love and appreciation is real for it between Chris and I, because it's like, dude, we've heard it 1,000 times in every other podcast. Like, I'm up to my neck in it already, and those guys do it well. Like, I hear it. Been there, done that. We love drums, but there's a character over chops moment with everybody that we have found that digs deep, and you have done that to an extreme.
Man, level, well, I guess that's a good way to wrap it up. Man. This has been day number 5 of the Nashville Takeover. That's what we're calling it, right?
Journey, tour, therapy, counseling sessions. Yeah.
But on behalf of Behind the Kick, dude, thank you for letting me, Arturo, Joshua, our creative director, everybody get to know the person behind the kick. And that's not the guy who builds drums. It's not the guy who works at Drum Supply. That's Andy freaking Gray, man.
Andy, thanks for having me.
Peace, dude. It's been a pleasure, bro. Seriously.
See you guys, man.
Peace.